What's up, Kryptonians, and welcome to my top 10, my Justice League for 2017. It has been a great year. I've had a lot of fun talking about a lot of different shit this year. In case you guys didn't tune in to my top 10 list from last year, I will have some honorable mentions that I will list at the end of the video. You know, movies that were pretty good or great, but that they just didn't make the cut because I like these other 10 movies way better. I haven't seen every single movie in 2017. I don't know if the movies that I didn't see would have made the list, or each movie on this list corresponds to my favorite Justice League members. So, let's get this started. My Zatanna for 2017, or my number 10 favorite movie, is Get Out. Get Out is a movie that surprised the hell out of me earlier on in this year. It was directed by Jordan Peele, and if this is the kind of quality material that this dude's gonna be pushing out, I want more. Give me more. The movie was funny. The movie had some great satire. The movie had some interesting things to say about racial stereotypes and the way that we look at other people without even realizing it. It features some great thrills, and it features some great performances. What wasn't there to like about Get Out? Oh, and one of the funniest side characters in the history of, ever. And my Black Canary of 2017 is Split. This is, without a doubt in my opinion, the greatest performance of James McAvoy's underrated career. He was magnificent in this movie. Seriously, the dude played 23, I think it was 23 or 24 different people, and you believed that he really was 23 or 24 different people in this movie. M. Night Shyamalan's been on a bit of a rebound kick since, his career started going down the toilet and sewer with, After Earth and whole bunch of other atrocities we don't need to mention. Last Airbender. It was expertly directed. It was expertly written. I'm pretty sure the main chick's name is Anya Taylor-Joy. She's been great in everything I've seen her in, and I can't wait to see her in Glass. Before I saw Logan, I didn't know that a superhero movie could make me feel. Really feel. Have the full feels the way that Logan made me feel. I'd be lying to you guys if I told you that I wasn't crying my eyeballs out, or at least I had, that single tear shit going on by the end of this movie when I first saw it. The movie was an emotional powerhouse. It hit you like a train, and it just kept going and going and going. Hugh Jackman gives the best Wolverine performance that anyone could ever make. Finally, for the first time in history, we get a fully fledged Wolverine unleashed with blood and guts and gore and people's hearts and throats getting ripped out. It was beautiful. Of course, this probably says more about how violent a person I am, but either way, it doesn't mean the movie wasn't great, because it was. Number 7 on my list is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It takes everything I thought I knew about Star Wars. It takes everything that I ever wanted to see in a Star Wars movie, and it just kind of flips it, and it subverts it, and it changes all of my expectations about what's come before and what's coming next. The most gorgeous looking Star Wars movie I've ever seen in my life. The action sequences are glorious, and it sets up all of these new characters to go in some really exciting and interesting directions. Hey, if you hate Last Jedi, I get it. I totally understand, but there is one thing I'm going to be doing on this list today, and that is not giving a fuck, because I loved it. Funnily enough, Cyborg was actually in a movie with Wonder Woman this year. It was Justice League, but Justice League isn't number 6 on this list. Number 6 on this list is Wonder Woman. This movie not only had the action, it had the performances, it had the great characters, Gal Gadot and Chris Pine nailing their roles. It took a more serious approach to war in a superhero movie than I was expecting. It had moments of epicness, the score was awesome, and no, none of this is motivated by a secret desire to have Gal Gadot sit on my face. If anybody follows me on Twitter and Facebook, then you would probably know that it's not really a secret desire, it's more wide open, but either way, good movie. And Gal. Green Lantern of 2017 is Baby Driver. I would probably say of all the movies on this list, Baby Driver is the one that has the most soul to me. This movie had a great style to it. Edgar Wright, one of the best directors working today. Love the music in this movie. This movie had some of the greatest musical choices and songs on a soundtrack that I've heard of any movie probably in the last 5 years. The style, the music, the performances, the main characters, the dialogue in this movie was really witty. Bottom line is, if you didn't see Baby Driver in 2017, then you just weren't living. This movie was a late entry to the Justice League of 2017, and it's a movie that I was excited to see, but I wasn't prepared for how the movie would hit me when I left it, and that is The Shape of Water. Guillermo del Toro is probably one of the best visual storytellers that I've ever seen directing anything in life, and he does a masterclass of directing in this movie. Everything from the shots to the story to the way that the film looks, the way the film feels, the romance, everything about it is done to almost perfection. The Shape of Water is a beautiful movie that touches on some things that are very important from back then and today, and I loved it. And the more I thought about it, the more I kept thinking about it, and that's why it places so high on the list. We've reached the top 3. These movies kind of were interchangeable at different times, but ultimately I had to put them in order. My number 3, my flash of 2017, is Wind River. If there was one way to describe this movie, I would probably say atmosphere. As this movie had it. This movie had tension. This movie had suspense. It also had Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch in it, but, you know, who hasn't made a joke about that? Seriously. The same guy who wrote and directed this movie, Taylor Sheridan, the same guy who wrote Sicario, the same guy who wrote Hell for High Water. I mean, this movie, from the moment I saw it, I just knew it was destined to make this list. Outside of Logan, I don't think any film this year hit me emotionally the way that War for the Planet of the Apes did. And that's why it's my number 2, my Batman of 2017. It concluded Caesar's story in a really epic and emotional way. I'm still not completely convinced that the apes in this movie weren't real. Like, I'm starting to really think that Andy Serkis just hired a bunch of apes, lifelike apes, to try to, you know, shoot a movie with him. Like, that's how real the visual effects and the CGI were in this movie. It's groundbreaking stuff. Visually, this movie it's porn. Well, you haven't seen it yet, so you probably knew that this movie was going to land on this list at number 1, and that movie is Blade Runner 2049. Back-to-back years, Denis Villeneuve has had my number 1 favorite film of the year in my list. I mean, that's not a coincidence. Twice is a pattern. Denis Villeneuve is one of the best directors working today, and with Blade Runner 2049, he has crafted a modern masterpiece. Visually, the movie it's not enough to say the movie is eggs on a tin. This movie is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. The story is deep and layered and complex. So are the characters. So is the dialogue. So is the setting. So is the environment. I can honestly make a 20-minute video just talking about everything that I picked out of this movie after like the first or second time watching it. This is one of those movies that gets better and better every time you see it. Every time I saw this film and every time I thought about this movie, it just kept getting better and better and better. It just kept growing like this big-ass egg in my head, and it had to be number 1 on the list. My Superman of 2017, Blade Runner. That's my list. Those are my top 10 favorite films of 2017. You guys should let me know, what are your favorite films of 2017? Do you hate the list? Do you agree with the list? I mean, I don't know. Just talk with me. Let me know down in the comment section below. We'll have my other list, the shit list, the one that everyone loves to see because everyone just loves to see me get pissed off about 10 other movies that I absolutely hated. But you'll see those soon. Just wait. I'm gonna give that one a few days. Like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.